All right, we are broadcasting, everybody. We are broadcasting. Let's see here. Hey, everybody.
Welcome, welcome,
Welcome,
welcome.
welcome. We are live.
We
Start
are live.
sharing with your friends. Start a watch party.
Yes, please. This is going to be good.
It's go time.
It is go time. All right, my Kimmy. We are broadcasting almost.
Welcome to What We Know Now Wednesdays Myths, Truths, and Solutions About Hair Loss with Dana Wilson, Lori Huckabee, and Tamima Ali, the hair advocates.
Hey,
Oh,
everybody.
hey.
Hello.
Hey. Hey, everybody. I'm Dana Wilson of Hair Cares Inc. I'm located in Chester, Virginia. I am your Sister Lock Master Trainer and certified trichologist. And my personal mission is to encourage everyone or anyone who are experiencing a scalp disorder or hair loss that there are solutions for you. And please join in so that you can learn about some of those solutions. Hey.
Mhm. All right, y'all. Welcome to the show. Go ahead and start your watch party, share, phone a friend, and tell them to get on too.
Yes.
All right. My name is Tamima Ali, certified trichologist of Advanced Hair Growth Clinic in Charlotte, North Carolina. I get to the root of your hair loss and scalp disorder. My goal is to help as many people as possible to look and feel beautiful. Let me help you be your most healthy self.
Go ahead.
Right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in tonight. Go ahead, start a watch party. Share your share this episode. And my name is Lori Huckabee. I'm located in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. I'm a certified trichologist, a licensed cosmetologist and cosmetology instructor, a hair coach, certified certified consultant, and a city certified biomedical research assistant. I'm passionate about what I do, and that is I help people to revive and renew their scalp health and restore and regrow their hair. So let us help you in your hair loss journey.
Her credentials is endless, okay?
I
did you
know,
hear
right?
did you hear that? Those
And,
credentials,
that,
they
and
go
that's
long.
just
And that was just
that's I
abbreviated,
was gonna say
right?
that's just
Right.
that's just
But of
but
course, all of us are abbreviated here.
yes,
But
yes.
we are here. We are the hair advocates, all of us, and our show is What We Know Now, and we developed this show to discuss and dispel myths and truths around hair loss, and then obviously talk about solutions as well. So welcome, welcome again. Please start a watch party. This is going to be a great, great show. We have Dr. Ryan from the Wellness Way, and he's going to be discussing inflammation, which
Mhm.
that's
Yes,
like a huge topic, right? Everybody
yes.
has, inflammation. So we're going to learn about inflammation, what that is, what you can do about it, and such. And of course, we always have our Dr. Scott, our star, the nutritionist. So she'll also be sharing some good tips with us as well.
Mhm.
Cool. So, Dr. Ryan, let's learn a little bit about
Yes.
Dr. Ryan.
Yeah, so here's a little bit of background information on Dr. Ryan. He grew up in Gainesville, Florida. He's always been amazed by the complexity of the human body. Sounds crazy, but anatomy and physiology was his favorite subject. And while studying at the University of Florida, he decided he wanted to help those who were sick become well again. And so to do that, he needed to take a whole body approach. And in 2013, he graduated with a doctorate degree from Palmer College of Chiropractic in Port Orange, Florida. Through his years of education, this quote from Thomas Edison inspired him, and it was, "The doctor of the future will give no medications, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease." Wow, isn't that brilliant?
That is
Um,
brilliant.
Knowing our bodies never make a mistake and we have an amazing ability to heal, as a wellness practitioner, he is better able to help people with an array of conditions such as hormone imbalances, GI issues, autoimmune, infertility concerns, and so much more by starting with the root of the problem, inflammation. His
Mhm.
goal for opening the Wellness Way-Largo clinic was to make the community where he works and plays the healthiest it could possibly be and get people back to doing what they love to do. He is married and his wife Lindsay, and they live in the Tampa Bay area because it's perfect for raising their family.
Good stuff.
They are blessed to have two boys, Breck
Ooh.
and Oliver, and they're keeping their fingers crossed for a third one.
Oh.
Um, they enjoy the Florida outdoors and dog parks for their boxer tanner, boating, farmers market, and festivals, along with the occasional Netflix binge on the side. So
Good stuff.
tonight, oh my gosh, you are in for a treat with
Oh,
Dr.
yes.
Ryan Davis from the Wellness Way Clinic in Largo.
Thanks for
I
thanks for being here. Thank you so much.
mhm,
Absolutely.
So we learned a lot about you.
mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Dr. Ryan Davis is awesome.
yes,
He,
yes,
I remember
Yes.
speaking in Clearwater when you guys had your
Yep.
trichologist on a mission
yes.
seminar. That was great. Did you ever get to do one on the cruise ship?
No, that had to be canceled for, due to the COVID. So
Yeah.
hopefully at some point when everything resumes, we can still do that. It was going to be awesome, but
yeah. Well,
you
I'm so
know,
happy to not be on that ship when everything went down.
I
Absolutely.
know. Just think
So
we could have still been stranded out there.
Still
yeah.
on the sea.
Hey, but being with you guys on a stranded ship wouldn't be so bad.
I know, right? We would have made the best of it, I'm sure.
You would have.
Well, Dr. Ryan, I want to start by maybe helping us in the audience understand the difference between a whole body approach versus, I guess, a conventional approach. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
thanks for having me on, by the way. Let's do the thank yous. I appreciate doing this. I feel honored and blessed to be a part of this. But when it comes to the whole body approach, I'm kind of speaking to the choir a little bit here. You guys know this, but if there's anybody that's listening who is still new, um, we can take the thyroid as an example in 1 minute or less. A lot of people are suffering with hypothyroid, thyroid issues,
Mhm.
sluggish thyroid. And when we look at the thyroid as an organ can be showing up on your labs as imbalanced. Something's off. But when we look at what the thyroid is in totality of the body, it's actually a sensory organ. So what does that mean? It senses and then it responds. So we're measuring the response, but if you back up and you find out what is it sensing in the first place, the inflammation, other hormones, infections in the GI, then you have to say, well, just adjusting the thyroid hormones isn't getting to the cause of what's going on. You can change it all you want. A good example I like to use is if anybody's been born and raised up north or traveled up north, if I throw you guys, butt naked out in the freezing cold, and I draw your blood for your thyroid, which controls metabolism, temperature, do you think your blood levels will be out of the range of the normal if you're out butt naked in the
Yeah.
freezing cold? Can
Yeah.
I say butt naked?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can say butt naked.
All
Yeah.
right. So your levels will be off, right? And that's
Yes.
because it senses the environment that you're in. So this happens with multiple organs in your body. You've got to get to the cause of what's happening. They don't just work independent. They all work together.
Got it.
And so the adrenals can tell the thyroid what to do in that time. It all works together. The GI can govern those organs too. So some of the main things you have to look at for everything from hair loss to thyroid issues is and the immune system and the infection, and get to the GI is going to be one of the root causes. No pun intended, I guess.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So the
Wow.
body works all together. It's a Swiss watch. You can't take one gear out of that $1,000 Swiss watch and expect it to tell time accurately. It doesn't work that way. Okay.
Right.
Did you know that your big toe controls your heart?
No.
I feel like it when I stump it or something like that. It
That's
feels
it. Let me smash your big toe and then tell me what your heart rate's going to do. Tell me what your blood pressure is going to
Okay.
do. So the
right.
idea is if we just look at where, oh, your blood pressure's high, let's just lower it. Maybe naturally, I get that, but you're just always going to be taking something. We need to figure out why it raised up in the first place, and I need to quit stepping or smashing your big toe. So we got to
Okay.
find the
Right.
cause to that. Yeah, you guys get it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yes.
totally
Yes.
get that. I
Yes.
totally get that.
Yes.
But I know a lot of people don't really get that because when they go to the doctor, they get a medicine for whatever this ailment is they having issues with their knee or shoulder or whatever, and they're getting some medicine for that, not knowing that maybe, it might be impacting their whole body.
Oh
It's a
yeah, it's
real segment. Yeah.
there's a side effect to
Mhm.
every single medication, whether you feel it or not. I always throw out there, I'm not anti-medication. If my blood pressure is 240 over 140 and it's severe, give me what I need to save my life. That's
Okay.
what medicine does a great job of
Okay.
doing. They will save your life. You know, people come from other countries to learn our medical system for the emergency aspect, but
Gotcha.
not for wellness, right? You know,
Right.
we have a good sick care system, not a good health care system, and I don't want to get off on a tangent there, but
Yeah. No.
you know, countries don't come to us to learn about diabetes care
Okay.
and inflammation and hair loss. Like they don't know. We don't have like the latest and greatest stuff. When it comes to hair loss, these treatments haven't changed for 40 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're so archaic.
Yeah.
So there's
Mhm.
root causes and there's multiple causes when it comes to these things. It's never one cause for anything. It's multiple aspects, and you have to start working on the biggest triggers and then fill in the gaps after that.
Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
can we talk about the big issue of inflammation? Like that's the
Totally,
huge. Please, can you
totally.
share with us what it is,
Yeah. So
and how
inflammation,
it impacts the body?
yeah,
Yes.
inflammation is the root of all disease. It is, you know, you can't have cancer without inflammation being present. You
Okay.
can't have an infection without inflammation being present. So inflammation is what all doctors, whether it's your podiatrist for your foot, your oncologist for cancer, your dentist for your gums and teeth, you know, everything starts, we'll all agree that inflammation is the root cause.
Okay.
We just all don't have the same idea of how to get to the root cause, and some don't even care about the root cause. They
Okay.
just
Right.
want to treat the inflammation. Listen, turmeric's great stuff, right?
Yeah.
Boswellia, there's all sorts of supplements out there to reduce the inflammation,
Right.
but it's what's causing it that we have to get to. Blood sugar levels, all of these things are going to raise that inflammation up. And so if we don't ever get to the root cause of that inflammation, it's going to just wreak havoc on our body, and it'll take us out of that zone of homeostasis. And when we
Right.
start getting out of that homeostasis zone, then we can get into that disease process.
Mhm.
So that's where inflammation really has its role in every single condition, you know, in the body. Whether you're diagnosed with something or not, I always say, I don't
Mhm.
care what diagnosis you really have. Let's just get to, you know, getting your insulin and blood sugar under control. Let's reduce the inflammation in your body, and then, you know, God put the best healing into our bodies. Like that's, you know, our bodies heal no matter what. We're 95 years old. You cut your finger, it's still going to want to heal. We just have to
Right.
tap into that God-given potential, for
But
sure.
Dr. Ryan, what does the inflammation look like and feel like? Because I know some people say, okay, I have inflammation, but they don't feel anything. They don't see anything. I mean, how does that manifest, I guess, is the question.
Yeah. So it manifests, number one, for our female, you know, patients out there, and for you
Mm-hmm.
guys, mental stress is where it manifests the most. That
Okay.
mental stress on the hypothalamus, the pituitary, hits the
Mm.
adrenals, and you get this cortisol need or surge, and that is what drains your guys' hormones ultimately. But you can measure for these. You can measure these levels of inflammation. You know, if you're taking some notes, CRP is a great inflammatory marker. Capital C,
Right.
capital R, capital P.
Mhm.
Get
Mhm.
that done. That can lead us into knowing, you know, not just heart disease. They call it a cardiovascular marker, but it'll tell you for inflammation systemically,
Okay.
acute inflammation. So that's a
Okay.
really good one to do. I love getting omega 6 to 3 ratios done. That's becoming more popular, but still your medical doctors, your typical primary is not going to draw that. Those are
Okay.
great ones to just see where your ratios are at. Um, yeah,
Oh,
and that
that's
would be some
huge.
easy places to start with that inflammation.
Mhm.
Because, I have patients that come in with knee pain, right? I take an
Right.
X-ray of their knee. They've got space in that knee. There's no bone on bone degeneration like what they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, well, let's run a food allergy panel. Let's see what food allergies you could possibly have. And they've got 25 food allergies causing an immune response and major inflammation that's being deposited in a joint, let's say. It could be their finger joint. It could be their
Oh.
shoulder. It could be the knee, anywhere that is causing that inflammation. And so it's coming from the foods we eat. It's coming from the stress that we have mentally. For men, the biggest thing for men, you guys, is
Yes.
is is sugar. It's carbs and
Really?
sugar. Absolutely.
Yes.
It'll
Yes.
Wow.
turn the men into women, and I can go on about that. But it messes with
I
our
love it.
hormones. Oh man, and I'm a sugar holic, I mean, not so much anymore, but every day it is a true struggle, kind of like somebody would with alcohol or another drug. It's a struggle for sure. And you just, yeah, I have a sweet tooth and I go on binges. I want to let you guys know I am not perfect by any means. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I am not
What? Are
perfect.
you kidding me? You're
I,
not perfect? What do you
no.
mean?
I do very well. Dr. Patrick Flynn. I mean, that guy's
Yes,
perfect too.
yes.
But we can never be perfect, you guys. I don't stand up here higher than you. I promise.
Right.
I am human. I
Yeah.
don't just eat twigs and berries, as I like to jokingly say. Promise you. But, if you got a little room to spare, it's not going to affect you as much. But if you got no room to spare, you got to be more diligent than some people, right?
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't know if I
Right.
answered that question fully,
No,
but
that was perfect.
No.
So now, once we have identified where the inflammation, like where it stemmed from, what can we do about it?
oh man,
Yeah.
yeah. Diet and lifestyle, two of the biggest things. Diet and
Okay.
lifestyle. For patients, I just had a stool test review with a patient who submitted a stool sample, and
Okay.
she's got 4 infections in her GI. Those
Mm.
4 infections are major. It's draining her energy. She's inflamed from it. It's messing with her thyroid and all sorts of other issues. So things you can do is, if you've got an infection, you're gonna have to fight it and kill it off with something. Now we don't use antibiotics here, and honestly, you don't need to. You just we use herbs and some other things, but in some cases like that, you got to supplement with something. You have to take something. But for the average person that's just got some blood sugar issues, insulin, you can tailor and say, hey, maybe you need to do this type of workout instead of this type of a workout. Maybe you need to change your diet a little bit. And we've all tried every diet in the book, probably from keto to paleo to a vegan to whatever it is. But you know, depending on what the labs say is how I typically go, because that's exactly what's going on. The testing
Right.
is the best thing to do to figure out that. And it's not thousands of dollars worth of testing either. It's really not. And a lot of primaries will draw most of the blood as well. But the blood work is just an easy, simple way to start, for sure.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you
But
said something.
diet, lifestyle.
You said something interesting. You don't prescribe antibiotics. So what do? Come with concoctions of different herbs and things that will do
Yeah.
the same thing.
I'm not like grinding them away in
Right.
like my,
I'm trying to get a visual.
I know.
Right.
People think I'm like sprinkling dust on people, like
Right.
fairy dust and stuff. No, we use some great, powerful herbs, and they like wormwood, uva ursi, golden seal. There's some really great colloidal silver. There's a lot of good things to use to kill off. God gave us these things, right? They're on our
Right.
planet. CBD has got some antimicrobial properties to it. So just we have to utilize these things, and there are specific organisms that are susceptible more to some than the other. So you don't just have to take it all, but that's where the testing can really help and fine tune what's going on. Yeah. And then you just want to
Mhm.
rebalance that.
Right.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
so interesting.
So if you got 2, 3, 4 infections, we're gonna have to up the ante a little bit
Okay.
Right.
for sure.
Oh wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how does inflammation for our audience impact hair? Because that's what we're talking about here. We're all
Since
trichologists. So how does it impact hair?
inflammation is the root, inflammation is the root cause of all of those diseases, right? And
Mhm.
let me back up and say it's even it even can change our genetic responses.
Yes.
So when we start talking about, oh, genes, I got it from my mom, I got it from my dad, my grandparents, right? There's a genetic component to almost everything, but it is a 1, 2, 3% component, maximum
Okay.
10% component. Other than that, your lifestyle depends whether those genes get turned on or turned off. Okay,
Mhm.
just like cancer genes, they're called onco for like an oncologist, but they're oncogenes. You can turn off that BRCA gene for breast cancer. This isn't that kind of a talk right now, but
Mm-hmm.
your environment that you put your body in, the stress or lack of stress, turns those genes on or off. So things we can do is we can't use that genetic excuse so much as what medical doctors will tell us to use it for,
I see.
because for blood pressure, right? All these things, those are secondary responses by the body to a primary stressor, such as infection and mental stress and dietary stresses. So we've got to get to those components first and foremost. Inflammation being the root. Let me back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Since that's the root cause, uh, the blood sugar levels and whatever's going to cause that inflammation is going to disrupt everything from the hair follicle itself to our hormones, which also play in a role, men and women, female roles. So, as far as what else to do for the stress component or for that inflammation component, you have to figure out what's the cause of that stressor, that trigger, and then work from there. And it could be dietarily, it could be blood sugar. I keep saying blood sugar because
Right.
your vascular flow to the hair follicle itself could be a
Yes.
problem, but the inflammation could also be throwing that DHT, that dihydroxytestosterone component, off the charts for men and women, where women could be losing hair, balding in areas that men do, and it's a hormonal issue. So
Right.
it can go down as far as that. I've got some great charts here. I can always send you guys, but the steroid hormone pathways we like to
Okay.
use with patients, and I don't expect to read this really,
Yeah.
but when you have your testosterone, here it is, going down to DHT and converting this way, that's that
Mhm.
one that will cause a lot of the hair losses that we see in the male pattern baldness and
Mhm.
even females as well. It can be an immune issue for some Hashimoto's as well. There's multiple angles that we can lose hair. It's specific for that patient. It depends on what they're presenting with, right?
Right.
It could be clumps
Right.
falling out. It could just be
Right.
general thinning of the hair. So we'll check things from thyroid as well to your hormones and that kind of thing to see what's the biggest and work from there through with patients.
So it sounds like a lot of process of elimination
Mhm.
scenarios here for
Absolutely.
each individual.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And you guys have to think long term with this, meaning it's been there a long time,
Got
Right.
it.
the root issues. And
Right.
so who knows if it's been 20 years or if you're just now seeing it, those things have been buried for a long, long time.
Right.
There have been
Right.
imbalances for a long, long time that doing things natural slow there's just not as fast as, maybe putting Rogaine on your hair and seeing a
Right.
result right away.
Right.
But doing things natural is only going to, like with my weight loss patients, they come in, I want to lose 20 pounds, like what can I do? And I say, this isn't the place for you to lose it quickly, because
Right.
I'm going to get you healthier on the inside, and that's going to shine through your skin, your hair, your nails. And guess what, in 3 to 6 months you'll get that 20 pounds lost.
Right.
It'll come.
Right.
But if you want to get in that wedding dress, in 2 weeks, because you've been sassy for a year now, and now it's time to go.
Right.
Right.
Go to
Let me
those quick
send
weight loss.
let me send you to the body shop, and maybe they got some gear that you can put on up underneath.
Tighten
Type of
everything
deal.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
She didn't say much. I wonder why. She
Right.
couldn't breathe.
So Dr. Ryan, how can we, so I need your services. I'm here in Virginia. How can I get service from the Wellness Way?
Everything's a Zoom now. Everything.
Yes.
There are over 60 now, 70 Wellness Way offices, mostly in that Northwest area. But
Okay.
there's 3 down here in Florida now. But yeah, the video conferences are just, we have a functional assessment questionnaire that's over 200 questions that talks from liver health to GI health, We talk poop and pee all the time here at the office
Yes,
because it's important, you know?
I
Yeah.
know. I like that subject.
Yeah, you gotta know. But listen, I was feeling dehydrated. My pee was a little cloudy the other day, and I'm like, you tell your patients, you better do it yourself. Let's
That's
drink some
right.
Yeah.
fluids. Let's get some hydration, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you guys can easily Facebook the Wellness Way Largo or just the Wellness Way in general. You can
Okay.
go to thewellnessway.com and find us there. I will have no problem even doing a 5-10 minute like second opinion call for you guys
Okay.
if you want to send your lab work in ahead of time. I'm just a CSI health nut. Like I love getting
Okay.
all of that data, bring it in, and just kind of say, all right, this is where we need to start with you. So yeah, we're on Facebook and all that good stuff too. The Wellness Way Largo. I wish I had some things to give you like quick things to talk about, but I would definitely say blood sugar. Control your blood sugar. Get that in the 80s. Get your A1C levels low fives. I
Mhm.
like high fours, 4.789 is good. Get
Okay.
your insulin levels and ask your doctor to test these things. Whatever diagnosis codes they got to put on there, tell them to put it on there, right? Don't let them control your health, you guys. You need to control your health with your doctors, okay?
Right.
And you can pay cash for these things. It's really not expensive, maybe a couple $100, and I can write you a script for it, and you just got to pay out of pocket. But it's better
Mhm.
to know for
That's
200
right.
than not know later on. So get your insulin levels 4, 5, 6. No, I don't want them to be 9, 10, 11. And these labs let you go up to 19, 20.
Mm.
Holy cow. Like
Right.
if your insulin levels are high, you're not going to lose weight. Insulin's a growth hormone. They give it to cows to grow and get bigger. So,
Right.
if your insulin's high, you're not going to be losing weight. You're going to keep
Right.
it around that midsection. Things like that you guys need to know.
Oh, that made me think about something, Dr. Ron, because a lot of times for our patients, they come, they might have already had lab works, but they say, oh, the doctor say I'm good to go. Everything looks normal. Can you
Yes.
please tell us the difference? Because as far as what I know, each doctor has their own different standard,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So they thinking, oh, everything's normal, but they're losing their hair. So it's not normal. Something's not normal. Can you share a
No,
little bit about that?
you teed me up beautifully for this.
Okay,
This is
perfect.
great. They test you, but their testing is incomplete, hands down incomplete. When we
Okay.
talk estrogen, like, oh, have you had your estrogen checked? People are like, I think I did. Yeah, like I got my estrogen checked but guess what? Estrogen doesn't even exist. There's no
Right.
hormone called estrogen.
Right.
Okay.
It's it's a term, estrogens, for a group of hormones, and there are almost 10 of those estrogens. No one gets more than 1 or 2 tested. So when we come in and we look at things in a big picture, we say, let's get like at least 4 or 5 of them tested, if not all 10. And so their testing is incomplete. They'll test you the CBC, a CMP. Those are $8 tests and a lipid panel. That's all they're really doing. That's like 25, $30 in blood work, and
Mm.
that's just a sin to be incompletely testing people, especially their hormones and thyroid, which is impacting the hair loss. You can get your B vitamins tested too. You can get your minerals tested. You can get the selenium. You can get your iron levels tested.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of things to just see what could be low and causing that hair loss for sure.
Mhm.
So the testing
Mhm.
is incomplete. It just drives me nuts when patients come in with just like a TSH, thyroid
I
stimulating
know, right?
Right,
hormone.
right.
They'll tell you, I got my hormones tested, and that's all it is the TSH.
Yeah, and that's not even produced by the thyroid. I'm like,
No.
where's your thyroid hormones? They're like, it's right there. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope,
No.
sorry. And they get mad at me, but I'm like, I'm here to help you, I promise. So let's test properly. Let's test completely.
Yeah.
So
I hate to hear that when the clients come in, they say everything's normal. I mean,
mhm,
and even on the lab work itself, it'll say in normal range, but something is off. Clearly
absolutely.
something is off here.
Yep.
So
Right.
they have to be re-educated on, I guess, the things to test for.
Yep. I
Um,
have no problem giving you guys what we would test for. We have
that would
we
be
have
great.
panels. Not everybody has to get a panel for $250, right? I'm just
Okay.
giving you ideas of like costs so you can kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're always upfront with that. We don't need to make
Right.
money on the testing, right? I want you to know, and then if you want our help, that's totally fine.
Mhm.
But the panels, ask me what I would do for a female hormone panel or a thyroid panel. or a male panel. And I have these panels that you can go and ask your doctor to draw. If they draw 80% of it and they are comfortable going outside of the box, then we can just fill in the gaps and get that done cash,
Right.
cash rate. Cash is amazing. When you go to get an MRI, it's not $2,000 to your insurance. It is, but when it's out of pocket, it's $250.
Right.
Right.
Oh wow, that's
So
good stuff.
everything's been blown out of proportion with costs, and now
I see.
that's a whole other political ball game
Yeah,
right
it
there.
is.
Right. Right. But one of the things that you did say, and I hope everybody gets it, is that testing is important. Like, you need to get the testing done. It helps give you a roadmap of where you need to start or where you need to begin to look. Because most of the times, if you don't know what's going on, how do you know what to treat?
You're guessing. You're just
Right,
guessing.
you're just guessing because a whole lot of people are out here taking, a gamut of supplements,
Yeah.
and you still have the same complaint. So that means what you're doing is not working. And
Absolutely.
it's probably not working because you don't know what you don't even know why yes, they all serve a purpose and they're good, but how do you know if they're good for you for what's going on with you? You don't
Absolutely.
really without testing. So.
Test, don't guess. That is our motto. It's so true. And you have to test properly, like we were just talking about. You can't test incompletely. And you can't fault yourselves for this because you don't know. No one's ever
Right,
told you
right.
this.
Nobody, yeah.
It's okay. Like, just now and you can go investigate a little bit. I don't know everything, right? I
Right.
just I know enough to get you guys to like light that fire to go ask questions, and
Mhm.
then we're always here. We're always here for you if you need it. But you can't just guess. I've been that person. We've all been that person who has
Yeah.
taken multiple things, and you get to that point where you're unscrewing the lid of another one and another one, and you're thinking, what is this doing for me? Like, how do I know this is working, right? And a lot of times we're only get at the tip of the iceberg. We don't ever get to the underlying big cause of what it is. Like biotin. Biotin can be helpful. That's one thing that many people
I'm
go
glad you
for.
said that. Come, please.
Yeah. So biotin, you can supplement it if you want. The best, what the best resource is for biotin? The best food for biotin is?
What's that?
There's things, there's like chicken, there's eggs, dairy, but beef liver.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Yuck.
Beef liver. Go and get grass-fed beef liver, and that has got the best source of those B vitamins, hands down.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's
everybody out there that's taking the biotin, trash those pills and go get you some beef liver.
liver. Yep,
I
Ugh,
bet
liver.
yuck.
I bet you won't do it. I bet you
I
won't
bet
do
you
it.
I
You
won't
won't.
either.
They won't do it.
I
They
It's
do
a
won't do
capsules.
it.
I do capsules. I do
Okay,
Oh,
like.
do
okay,
you?
So
Okay.
again,
okay.
it's like, well, you were taking biotin capsules. Now you're taking, but beef liver it's going to help regenerate the liver. One thing we have gotten away from in society is eating organ meats. And I'm going to sound way out there, but
Okay.
I promise you, you're going to see a resurgence of organ meats coming in and being
Okay.
on Facebook and this and that. But it is important to get organ meats in our diet. That's what we used to eat. And
Hmm.
it's healing for those areas of those glandulars is what they're called.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yes. Hmm.
absolutely.
Dr. Ryan, for some reason from the convention, for some reason, cocoa comes to mind when I think about you. It seemed like you shared something about cocoa.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
tell me about that again.
yeah. Cocoa, cacao. It's pronounced
Cacao.
multiple different
Okay.
ways.
Yeah,
All right.
cacao. Hmm.
But
Cacao.
cacao
Okay.
nibs and powders and
Yeah.
beans and cacao butter have
Yeah.
such a rich source of that magnesium and
Okay.
minerals, right? And
Okay.
that's what it comes down to. A lot of times when it comes to hair loss and thyroid issues, which can cause more hair loss, it's minerals that we need. We should be getting 3 grams, 4 grams of salt, healthy pink Himalayan, Celtic sea salt in our diet every day. Don't fear that it's going to raise your blood pressure up. It's something else raising up your blood pressure, okay?
Right.
Not salt, unless it's processed, the crappy, iodized salt, Morton salt. We don't want that kind of stuff, okay? You guys shouldn't be doing that anyways. You know better.
So tell me
Um,
this: while you're at work helping everybody get well, who's at home making these special meals for you? Because does. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
thought has to go into making these meals.
You bet. It is not easy cooking. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
I eat later than I tell my patients to eat because I'm
Okay.
home cutting
Right.
things up, prepping, and we don't eat till 8:30 sometimes.
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
sometimes 9 o'clock because I got this really good meal. But I hate cooking. I hate it. I hate it. I mean, I'd rather pay somebody to be a chef. Like that's like when and I will never have the money to pay someone to be a chef. But that's how you control it, you guys. That's the number one thing is to make it at home, prep it for the week. There's tons of things out there that you can do, but I don't like cooking. Honestly, I'd rather sit on the couch, Netflix, or watch a podcast and keep
Right.
learning stuff than
Right.
than cooking. But you can't beat it. Home cooked meals and real healthy food
Right.
is the way to go for sure.
Right.
So it
Right.
takes time though, you guys. I
Yes,
mean,
it does.
I was born in the 80s, or 82, and we lost that
Lord
family,
today.
you know, sitting
I
down and
know.
eating at the table, talking, now it's so we're going to definitely put those back into our family traditions, and that's having meals, no phones, nothing, no electronics.
Right.
And I hope to, my kid doesn't eat birthday cake. It's pretty cool. He goes to a birthday party for kids and it's too sweet for him. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I'm bragging about that because I'm happy,
Right.
he'll
Yes.
eat grape tomatoes as a snack and stuff and do some
Wow.
really weird stuff. So,
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
Mm,
good.
you know,
That's good.
real
so
good.
get your
Yes.
kids eating right. That's another
That's
thing,
right. That's right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
my best
Mm-hmm.
excuse, and I only have a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, but tell them if they're 7, 8, 10 years old, tell them it wasn't in the grocery store this time. Like you're gonna have to eat something else. And then
No,
tell them
yeah.
again, it wasn't in the grocery store. Make that to me, those white lies are fine
Yes.
because it's only gonna make them healthier and avoid those sugars. I used to eat 2 Twixes and a Little Debbie before my soccer practice in high school. Like
Too funny.
I ate
Wow.
bad stuff, But yeah,
I
start it with your
remember
kids
that
too.
little Debbie. I remember
Yep.
that. Well, listen, Dr. Ryan, we always end with asking our guests, what do you know now? And mainly pertaining to hair loss or hair growth. So what do you know now about hair loss or hair growth?
I would say the biggest thing is that there's never one issue when it comes to it.
Right.
And you might get a result from filling in one gap, but if you don't get to the root cause of what's going on, it's going to be a year after year after year struggle. And
Gotcha.
truly, it's a daily struggle because you look in the mirror every day and it eats away at you. So the one thing I would say is it's never one thing. And I would also say, you got to get to the root cause of that inflammation, and you have to start testing what's going on for the hair loss. And it can be multiple aspects. I know that's such an open-ended
No, that's
answer,
good. Yeah.
but
No,
you got to
that's
get with a doctor
yeah.
that doesn't just treat the symptom. You got to get to the doctor that's going to get to the cause of it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
that's perfect, because I think we spend a lot of time talking to our clients about getting the blood work. They want to
Yes.
come and just have us give them a product that will have their hair grow back, and we have to
And-
explain to them that
yeah.
it's internal. We need to know what's going on internally
Sure.
to
Yeah.
help you. Yeah.
Because
thank you.
like you just said, the outside part is you might get a little result from there, but it won't be long standing because you did not solve the root of what caused it in the first place. So yes, thank you for reiterating that
Thank you.
point. So
Thank
it's
you
not
so
just us talking, we're really trying to tell you.
Yeah. For sure. I'm trying to think about how what's a good way, maybe we can talk after this to just get it
Mm-hmm.
a couple things that you guys can just tell your clients and just, hey, get a couple of these checked as a basis. And if these are off, then we can kind of work dietarily things to do. That's the thing that's going to save you the most money. So you're not taking a bunch of supplements.
Oh,
Right.
no.
And,
No,
and
you're right.
if you
You're
don't
right,
change those
because
habits, you're going to have to take something forever.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It is true.
And I personally don't think that, I mean, I know it's a gazillion supplements out there on the market, but I just don't think that supplements and or medication are meant to be taken long term, because the body is supposed to be able to take care of itself and have the ability to heal itself.
Yep.
So, I mean, a supplement is a help. Medication is supposed to be a help, not to replace what the body can do or what you can do naturally for
Absolutely.
yourself.
Medications will manipulate and they'll force the body down certain pathways. That's their
Right.
goal, and that's not the goal. The goal is to support and give those constituents. That's why the herbs are great. Real quick, the history of the herbs, right? They used to have like ashwagandha, which can help the adrenal stress. There used to be an ashwagandha plant in everyone's like backyard, and you could just go over and eat it every few days. So herbs need to be used. CBD should truly be used as a part of our just diet, and
Right.
not looked at as a supplement like Western medicine portrays them. So
Right.
I do think herbs should be a part of our normal, even though yes, it's like this herb's good for this and this and this. We need to start eating some herbs and just getting some herbs in our diet on a regular basis, anyways, and that's going to help in every aspect of healing for sure. Yep.
Yes.
I think what would be very helpful is to have a list of those tests.
Sure.
Because my takeaway from you is definitely about the testing. Testing so that you can get the root cause and then do a process of elimination. So I think what would be helpful is to get a list from you, Dr. Ryan, of those pertinent tests. Yeah.
And then it's on them. I hate to say it, but I tell you, we guide you guys.
Yeah.
You guide your clients. You guide them. They're your best friends. But if they're not doing it, if you lead them to water, that's great. But if they're not going to drink, you guys put all your emotional effort into everything. Each person that's sitting in front of you, I know it. I do it too. And it tears us up. They don't know that we wake up at midnight, sweating, just going,
I know, right?
I forgot to tell them this, or
Yes.
where's this person been? They need to get back on track, or whatever it is,
Yes.
They don't realize how much we like truly care, and we think of you guys outside of being in, the clinic or the studio or wherever it is, right? So yeah, it's so true. But we will never stop. We will never stop trying. So.
But thank you so much, Dr. Ryan. We appreciate your time. We know it's precious.
You bet.
Hopefully you can come back again and we'll have another conversation. We'd love to have you back again.
See what people think, about this and how much in depth they want to get with certain things. We can definitely get in depth more, but yeah, overall, just listen to these ladies, everybody. Listen to them. Okay, they know they're on the right track. Promise.
Thank you. Thank
Promise.
You. And we're gonna we're gonna send out, make sure that everybody gets your information, your contact information. So
appreciate it.
Right after the show. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate it. And we're definitely gonna have you come back, because I'm looking at that big sign, hormones, and I feel like we need to dig. Like, that's what we need to be talking about next.
Absolutely.
Because I'm glad that you brought up so maybe next time when you come back, because they seem to be I want to say they seem to be an audience that's not readily addressed, and that is men's health.
Yes.
It seems like society thinks men don't have issues outside of erectile dysfunction, but they do have other issues. So I think we need to, have a I would like to have a conversation just specifically for the men, to know that, hey, they get affected by hormones too, and they have thyroid issues too. Everything that women have outside of the, ovaries and uterus can affect men too. And I think we need to talk about it. I think it's a conversation that needs to be had so that they can stay healthy and get help too. So we'd love to have.
Men just don't eat sugar right now. Low carbs. And fasting is best for men. Women occasionally, but men, if you fast for a solid day or 72 hours, that's really going to kind of clean that up. It's going to boost your testosterone. But I would get that DHT, all caps DHT, measured, and start with that. And then once you see that number, then we can talk a little bit more. Maybe we can fill in the gaps with why your body's choosing that conversion pathway, which is destructive to the hair, and other things too. So that's definitely one for male health and female health. That's important for sure.
Good. Thank you
you.
so much.
Yeah.
Ah, it was a pleasure.
That was so good.
Thank
Let's do
you.
more. Let's keep going.
We'll have you back.
Yes.
Yeah,
that-
we'll have you back again. Now it's time for our star, Miss Dr. Joy Scott. She's our resident nutritionist, so she comes on and tells us what we should eat and why we should be eating.
She's trying to get back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Her iPad died.
Oh, her iPad died?
Well, while I
Oh.
still have Dr. Ryan, I'm over here.
Yes.
Thank you for being on the show, by the way. I've been quiet because I think I'm self-diagnosing. I think I have tonsillitis. It's my left tonsil. And everybody think like, oh, you got COVID. Like, no, it's just
You can't sneeze without people think you got COVID right
Oh
now.
my gosh.
Exactly.
Clear my throat. Oh.
Let me clear my throat.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
just
so
very sore.
Your tonsil, right? Since you have tonsillitis, it's
Uh-oh.
inflamed. Do you need to go removing your tonsils? Say no.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Where if it was chronic enough, they'd be like, the tonsils are the problem. Let's remove those. Like the gallbladder's the problem. Typically, it's not a gallbladder issue. It's a liver issue that puts the crud and slime and sludge into the gallbladder, and then the gallbladder can't work properly, and then it
Right.
starts, malfunctioning, right? So it's not a gallbladder issue. It's not a tonsil issue. It's an immune issue. Something's going on there. You're fighting something. But it could be something pretty big, right?
It's COVID, Kimmy.
See that?
Sorry.
No, it's something though. It's a sign, right? We have to use these as
Yes.
signs. Swollen ankles, skin or heels cracking, fingernails that are brittle. All these are signs or ridges on the fingernails. Something's going on, right? So use that as a sign, and then you can go taking supplements. I tell you right now, go take some camu powder. Right? Camu is, don't take Emergency, none of that over-the-counter cheap vitamin C. Go get camu powder. It's an Amazon, it's a berry from the Amazon. Make sure it's not from China. Okay?
Okay.
And take a teaspoon of that, a day or a couple teaspoons for the day. It's very tart and nasty, but just get that building block of vitamin C in your body. Avoid sugar because that's going to compete with your immune system. So yeah. Is the
This sugar is
nutritionist
something
back on
else.
yet? I'll keep
No,
going.
she's not.
No.
No,
And I will
Keep
and
on
I've been
going.
avoiding-
No,
I've been
this
avoiding
sugar
sugar.
is-
I've been
is
avoiding
something
all
else.
foods. I haven't even been eating because it's the soreness that it's just I haven't been eating. I've been
Swallowing.
drinking water.
Yeah.
I've been gargling with peroxide.
Okay.
I've been doing that morning and night to help out.
Yeah.
I have a question since we're talking about all this. My son has been having seizures.
Mhm.
So is there anything you can share with me that I should get tested on him for seizures?
First things I would do is I would check. Has he had any heavy metal exposure that you know? I know he's not eating paint chips, right? Let's not.
Not
go
that
there,
I know
but-
of. Not that I know of. Now he is short gut. He has short bowel syndrome, so he had to get 90% of his small intestine removed.
Okay, that sounds
So-
pretty important.
It is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just here lately, he's been having seizures. And
So
he's
neurotransmitters, seizures are an excitatory thing going on in the brain. So something with a neurotransmitter test, really simple, a couple $100, you can test neurotransmitters, maybe
Okay.
temporarily fill in the gaps, but the majority of those neurotransmitters are produced where?
in the gut.
The gut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so this might be a case where if you can't get them all produced, given the surgery and stuff like that, might be having to take some things for a long time. But I would check neurotransmitters right away and see where
Okay.
those levels are at.
Okay.
And then I would absolutely get like a stool test and to see what's going on there. Has anything helped? Can you give me any idea if anything's helped naturally so far?
No.
Any
and so-
CBD?
Not yet.
It's a Band-Aid, but it's something that might temporarily help. What kind of seizures? How often? What else?
So his first seizure when he was 5 months old. Now he's now 13. And so he had a seizure in September of 19, and then April of 2020 and July of 2020. So now it's like more frequent.
Has he been vaccinated?
Yes.
Okay, that to me would be the biggest, like, hold on, this is one of the biggest, and this is a conversation for a whole nother ball game. But
Right.
Right.
when he probably had an allergic reaction to something in those vaccinations. It could have been,
Okay.
it could have been the aborted fetal tissue. It could have been an aluminum, or if there was a mercury still left in those vaccinations. It could have
Okay.
been there's latex rubber in some of those vaccinations. So like you don't know if he has a latex allergy, and that
Okay.
allergic reaction definitely did something to the neurological system in the brain.
Okay.
100%. Honestly, I would do
It,
some sort of a detoxing with heavy metals, or maybe
Okay.
even go testing those.
Okay.
I would beg you. I'm not anti-vax. I'm just
Right.
like pro-choice, right?
Okay. Got it.
I'm not anti-vax because if someone's leading a really sick life, maybe you need that flu shot or whatever it is,
Right.
right?
Right.
But I do think, given what you're telling me, it's there has definitely been some, because nothing else has changed, right?
Right.
right.
Nothing else has really changed in his diet or in his
Right.
that's going to cause that. Those things, in my experience, are vaccines are one of the biggest things. Okay,
Biggest things.
so
Okay.
I would consider doing a gentle detox, maybe pulling some with some zeolite, pulling some of those heavy metals out, even if you didn't want to test for that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, well, let's talk, please.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, thank
Like
you.
And
critical. I
That
would
was
and
delay the vaccine schedule a little bit longer until we
okay.
can
yeah.
get some more answers and get some help. You can always give them, another round of those 72 vaccinations they're getting now as a kid through their teens, and delay it just another year, maybe two
Okay.
years.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I
Dr.
will.
Ryan,
I will
you
get with
you
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was very
you
helpful.
you mentioned something, and just real quick, if you could talk about how, um, like you said, he could have had an allergic reaction, and I know that not all reactions happen right away.
Yeah.
They can be delayed,
Absolutely.
and so could you kind of talk to that a little bit, because I know even for food allergies, they don't have to happen right away, and they don't necessarily have to happen in the form of my tongue swelled up or I broke out in hives or something like that. I know they can happen 24 to 72 hours after you've consumed
Yep.
whatever you're allergic to.
Or
So they
longer.
don't have to
Lori,
happen right away. Right.
Lori,
Or longer.
I should give you your degree. You're impressive. I like this. You
I'm
know,
coming. Don't worry. Don't worry, Dr. Ryan. I'm on my way.
I love
I'm
this.
coming. I'm working my way there.
Man,
I'm working my way there.
I'm gonna send you. Do you have a Wellness Way T-shirt? Do you have a?
Yeah, not yet. I don't. I don't.
Don't worry.
I'm trying to get in. I'm
I
trying to
will
get into
ship
the
you one.
academy.
I'm gonna ship you
Okay.
one.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna send you one. Just like email whatever your size and all that, and I'm gonna
Okay.
send you a
Okay.
shirt.
We'll
You can
do.
start wearing one. I'm just impressed. Like I
Thank you.
love it.
Thank you.
Food
Thank
allergies
you.
are a part of the immune system. That delay of 72 hours to 3 days. They're showing it could be up to 2 weeks delay for an
Mm-hmm.
immune system reaction response, like an antibody response. So think of an autoimmune type of antibody response. Think of a
Mm-hmm.
vaccination that gives you an antibody response. They're trying to trigger those. And that delay could be, when it comes to vaccinations, could be months later even.
Okay.
And your immune system has immediate reactions like IgE for sign language,
Right.
IgEs. Those are the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
immediate emergency reactions. And then there's IgGs, IgMs, IgAs, and those are a lot of delayed allergic responses where you get the same surge, but just every single day you're getting it instead of all at once.
Right.
Tongue swells, hives, all of those things. So 100%
Right.
when that vaccination is given, remember they're giving you it in the arm, in the bloodstream, and they're bypassing the natural way you would get chickenpox, let's say, which is through
Right.
your first barrier is your respiratory tract and your GI. And that slower response for your immune system to say, oh, I recognize this, let me investigate a little bit, is the proper way to get the disease instead of an immediate through the arm. And then your immune system goes, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And
Right.
it reacts. And then that's when we get these, could be autistic symptoms, these seizures.
Mm.
It bypasses the natural barrier of the immune system and goes right to step 3. And
Okay.
it's just too much of a surge. I was fully vaccinated. I don't see outward problems of being vaccinated when I was a kid. There were only
Mm-hmm.
like 10 on the schedule then versus 70 now. But
Wow.
it's, you never know, and it's just a guessing game of who's going to have that allergic response to it. So that being able to link like autism to vaccinations is too difficult directly, but we know that there's the response of the immune system and neurological system is then goes on and causes that autistic type symptom later on, if it's that.
Mhm.
Wow.
So
Right.
yeah, the
Oh,
immune system's
thank
a
you
big
for
player,
that.
you guys.
This was
Vaccinations are
good.
showing up in autoimmune conditions later on.
Oh my
Please
gosh.
just be
Right.
careful, careful, careful.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Right?
gosh. This was
Mhm.
so good.
Mhm.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
Dr. Brian. We have to have you back.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Have to
Yeah.
have you.
Many times.
Lori, message me. I'm gonna get you a T-shirt. I love it.
I am. I'm gonna do that. I'm doing that tonight.
All right.
Dr. Scott, are you ready? Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am. I am ready. I'm gonna cut my water hot pot off.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm ready to go. I just want to remind everybody, maybe you didn't have paper and you didn't write down any notes. I want to remind you of a few notes and then have you kind of know what can you do about inflammation for yourself, okay? So a couple of notes that I got, I want everybody to kind of know and kind of what we kind of talk about is drink green drinks. It's like, what do you drink if you didn't drink water? We're drinking green drinks. And, we could drink them in the form of a tea. Most people, we love tea.
Mhm.
So drink green drinks because what we're after, we're trying to get rid of inflammation. We don't want inflammation. And so what do we drink to help ourselves with inflammation? Drink green tea. So we're going to make some green tea with a little bit of dandelion here. Okay, now, so what helps with inflammation? I mean, inflammation is everywhere. You could have meningitis of the brain. You could have, inflammation is everywhere. Tendinitis, bursitis, you're blowing the hair. I mean, it happens in your industry, right? You're standing on those little knees all day long. The joints are all inflamed, arthritis, you name all that stuff. Flaxseed, omega-3. It's really wonderful for inflammation and every kind of inflammation you can imagine. Okay, so we want you to know one of the mains, he said, sugar. Stay away from sugar. Sugar, yes. And one of the reasons it could cause inflammation is because of the pH of sugar. It's very, very acidic. Anything acidic could cause inflammation. So that's all your flour, your breads, your sugars, your too much meat and protein also can cause inflammation. As a matter of fact, I remember one of your classmates had the autoimmune disease from too much, inflammation had set into all of her joints and she couldn't really use her hands. What do you do? And that's the question for everybody. Eat green, okay? Drink water and keep your blood clean. If you were listening well, we are now focusing in on keeping all your major organs clean and working good, detoxifying on a daily basis. But let me say this, if that body pH isn't where it should be, like the pH should be like 7.35 up to, we're gonna say 7.35 up to 7.45, okay? So that's what the blood pH is. And if it goes higher than that, yeah, we're getting mad, inflamed, that's what's going on. So I've done this for most of my life, is help people with any kind of inflammation. And we would take a Siberian ginseng just to calm that pH down and making that body more alkaline. It's like you couldn't get inflammation if the body was alkaline, if that blood was stayed alkaline. So I love Siberian ginseng, better known as youth rose. And then here's my organ food, the spleen, keeping that blood clean. So today we want to make some green tea. And that's what I think, and we know one of the really big foods to keeping that blood calm, keeping your stress level down, is just green, please, period. So if you eat enough greens, the stress, you're chilled. So how do you get greens? So we're going to make some greens. It's like, if you could sneak some greens into your diet, we'll do it. Is that right, Dana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Dana said if we could sneak them. So what we're gonna do, other than the color just being green, so I already washed these. I'm gonna put a few in the blender.
And that's dandelion, right? You said that's
That's
dandelion.
dandelion.
Okay.
So that's helping the body stay clean, stay detox, stay alkaline. Wow, that's cool, right?
Mhm.
And so we said we wanted to drink teas, green teas, and so I've got a couple of teapots here. And so, you know, we love cheating. Everybody likes to cheat a little bit.
Right,
So we
right.
want to have some tea. Oh, here's the nettle. The nettle tea, good for the hair, keeping the body alkaline. Nettle is help the hair to grow, thin, fragile hair that's not thick. We want it thick, but it's not thick. Here's some horsetail. Some horsetail, keeping the body strong and detox and alkaline. Ooh, this is more nettle. These are the leaves. I had leaves of the nettle, and we had, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna get some more. And let me tell you, when we're talking about, we've got nettle root, nettle leaves, and we have horsetail. We want to make strong hair while we're getting rid of inflammation. And it's just like taking me back to the inflammation to one of your classmates. We just gave her all greens. We fed her greens. And the lupus went away. You're just changing the pH. So I'm gonna squeeze a little juice, lemon juice, including the seeds, in my blender. Okay, so we're gonna make some tea for the day. I'm gonna put in a whole lemon. I'm gonna show you this tea. If you make this tea at home, not only is your stress gonna go away, your inflammation is gonna decrease, your alkaline pH is gonna, you're gonna switch from acid with pain to alkaline, no pain.
Okay.
And so we just got some, I'm gonna go ahead and look at this water. This is some very hot water. Just boiled it in my hot pot. And so we are going to, I know we're
Dr.
running out of time.
So Dr. Scott, why do you have your blender and then you have the teapot?
Yes,
Why do you
so
use
watch
both?
this here. We're just gonna infuse these tea leaves right here, okay? Okay, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna make a second pot of tea, and we just want some greens. We want some herbs that helps with inflammation and the hair all at the same time, because, a lot of people, they don't drink the water, so we're just trying to do multiple things at one time. They love to drink sweet tea. Oh my goodness, which is the wrong thing, right?
Mhm.
And so how do you get rid of the sweet taste? Greens. If you could just drink greens. So why do I have greens in my blender? Only because I want to speed up. I woke up late this morning. Did you know that waking up late is a sign of inflammation? Oh yeah, I didn't have time, right? So I boil my water in my hot pot. I am now making my tea. Oh, look at this tea. It is awesome. Okay. These are, what do they call them? Bodum. This is a bodum. So we're infusing the tea leaves into the water. We're going to pour it in our blender and just blend it. And then we're going to put it in our big jar and take it with us for the day. We could keep it cool, drink it cool. It's going to have a lemony flavor. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of what?
Agave.
Agave.
Mhm.
And you could have just put just a tad bit of what? Stevia. Okay. Just a little bit to take the edge off. We're not even trying to make sure it's sweet. Okay. Now, so, wow. We could go ahead and blend our dandelion. Let's go ahead because we're going to just blend it a little bit. Okay. Okay, let me blend it for you. And so we're just making a green tea. Okay. Okay, well.
It's almost like the kitchen is a lab. You know, it's a laboratory. This is a laboratory. We get our testing done. We know where we need to go, and now we got to go in the kitchen.
Okay. So we're always staying green. If you have anything hurting on your body, you didn't move enough, you didn't drink enough water, you didn't eat enough greens. So we just wanted a little bit, just a little bit. We're going to have to make changes.
Right.
See, we can't think that we're going to get healthy staying doing the same old habits.
Right.
So now watch this one here. Okay. I'm just going to try that one. So we see we've got tea, and we are going to pour our tea in with our greens. Okay, we've got that. As a matter of fact, we are going to, I think I want to switch jars, because during the day, what you probably would like to take it in quart-sized jars. You know what inspired me to do this? I was just out of town over the weekend, and the gentleman in Alabama, he has these teas, and one of them is nettle dandelion. I thought, whoa, what a great way to grow some hair. So now, what are we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna take our faithful cup. Did everyone get a cup?
Yes, yes.
It's like if you visit the show how many times, you deserve a cup.
That's right.
Okay.
Dr. Ryan,
So
your
as
cup
your
is in the mail.
Oh, everybody's cup is in. What
No,
was
his,
that?
No,
Dr. Ryan.
Dr. Ryan's cup is in the mail.
Mm. Oh my goodness.
Good stuff.
So what we have is a green tea. It alkalizes your body.
Mm-hmm.
It oxygenates your cells. So it could send inflammation on its way. Now, wait a minute. We have more. Oh, no, we don't have more. We can make a different kind of inflammation tea, right? We have sea moss here today. Some people take the sea moss, okay? What you got today, Dana? You got sea moss?
No, I was going to show my sea moss.
Okay. Some people have it in little cubes.
Yes.
So, and if
I got
we
my
put
sea moss.
in one little cube, and then here's the omega-3, okay? I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of omega-3 called flaxseed.
Flaxseed.
Are we giving anything away this week? I'm willing to give some
Flaxseed.
flaxseed away. We could give even something, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a little bit more dandelion. So everybody kind of know about dandelion, but we're not using it. We may use it in a peel form, but what's different in a peel form and this live dandelion? It has live enzymes in it.
Okay.
It's live. So now let's just put a little water in here.
So that's dandelion leaves, sea moss, flaxseed, and the water.
And if we wanted to make a little tea, we could put a little bit of, just a little bit to take the edge off. Now, and then we never want to forget hoist.
Uh-oh.
We lost her.
No.
Horsetail, that's what she was talking about.
Oh, because that was the horsetail mix.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the kitchen is the lab. It's just that simple. Every guest that we've had on here is all about the diet. You really just got to take the time, slow down,
And make those changes.
down. And I know that is hard because I mean my life is busy, but we just have to slow down and really concentrate on what we put in our mouths every time. There's no room to play around with what we're putting in our mouths. That's going to make all the difference in the world.
Right.
You just got to slow down.
And some people, some of our clients that we deal with or come in contact with, it's like they don't want to make that change because, like Dr. Ryan started to show off, your body is one whole thing. It's not, your head and hair is not separate from the rest. So
Right.
what goes into your body will affect your hair growth. I mean, it does, because it affects everything else in your body. So if
Right.
everything else starts to dysfunction or not work like it's supposed to, then at some point it is going to affect your hair one
Right.
way or another. So you have to be willing to make that change. Is it really a sacrifice? Uh, Not really, because you your life is the sacrifice. That's what you're sacrificing. So, if it's going to be a debate between, I really love my sweets, but your sweets don't love you, which one you going to go with? You're going to keep doing your sweets, and
Right.
eventually, we don't see you anymore, or you're going to let the sweets go, so you can extend your time here.
Yeah.
You know
But
what
I
I
know
mean?
that sounds so matter of fact. And I guess I'm relating to everybody else, that
Yep.
it sounds so matter of fact, but it is the simple truth that we just have to slow down
Yeah.
and just watch what we put in our bodies, because that's what's impacting
Yeah.
everything.
Everything. Everything.
Everything. So we have to just you got to do a reset.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do a reset. I mean,
Right.
detox the body, find out what's going on, get to the root cause of it, and then go into the lab. And the lab is the kitchen. It's just that simple. The
Right.
lab
It
is
is.
the kitchen.
Right. And like Dr. Ryan said, start making your own food. Like, let the processed fast food
Yeah,
go. Yep. It is
yeah,
quick and it's easy. And I know everybody's life is busy, but
yes,
you got to make time for yourself and actually take care of yourself,
yeah.
because the world is not going to do it for you.
That's right.
It's just not.
That's
So,
right. They give you a quick fix medication that's gonna help you temporarily, but then once that's gone, you back at it again.
right. Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dr. Scott, I don't know what happened, but she shared a good nugget in regards to how to make that tea to help for inflammation. Thank you, Dr. Ryan, for being here and sharing with us about. My takeaway was the testing. Get the
Yes.
testing down so that you can get to the root cause and then do a process of elimination from there.
Don't
So
guess, test.
yeah, that's
That's
right.
the thing.
Don't guess.
Don't guess,
I love it.
test.
I love it. Thank you again for showing up. Next week is going to be great again. Same place, same time. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully this was helpful to you. We are here to encourage you that there is solutions to your hair loss or scalp disorders. See you next
Yep.
week.
See you next week, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
No sound. Where's my music? I can't hear my music.
I know it. Where is
Oh
it?
man. All is
Dun,
well.
Coming.
dun, 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 dun,
Doo-doo, doo-doo.
dun, dun, dun.
There we go.
Tune in next week, same time, same place.